Hey everyone. Doing something a bit different this time around, as the time has come to discuss the future of the channel. As I've mentioned in more recent videos, there is not a lot of ground left for me to cover in Bloodhunt when it comes to lore. There are some minor characters here or there that I could stretch out into some of my shorter videos, but it's reaching the point where I'm trying to get blood from a stone, despite Sharkmob graciously collecting and answering community questions about the story. Despite the excellent material that Bloodhunt has provided, the time has come to look past the game and decide what else I can do with the YouTube channel. Though I'll be moving away from Bloodhunt here, I will continue my efforts in the community as long as it is around. I've spent a lot of time immersed in the lore of Bloodhunt, and I want to make sure that knowledge is available to all whenever it may be needed, and that as much from the game is archived if the decision should ever be made to take it offline. To that end, I will continue updating the official VTM wiki as well as the White Wolf fan wiki with as much info from Bloodhunt as I am able so that nothing is lost, whatever the future may hold for the game. As to the channel itself, I've thought for quite a long time about this and have ultimately come to a decision. I've considered the idea of shifting focus over to Sharkmob's next game, Exoborn, since I have had a lot of fun talking to the devs and have really enjoyed getting to know them. However, there is not a lot known about that game yet, and as I'm not sure if the story is something that will really draw me in, like Bloodhunt did, I'm not willing to commit to something like that just yet. If I do decide to pursue content with it though, I will likely do so on a new channel, and will announce that when it happens. So where does that leave this channel? Well, my love for Vampire the Masquerade is as strong as it ever was, and I've never been one to do things in half measures. With that in mind, over the past year or so, I have been researching and collecting every book that was released for VTM, both in terms of the TTRPG, as well as the various novels and other fiction that has come out in the decades since the first edition of the game was released. My intention was to read everything because I often feel that things like the wiki or even some of the deep dive videos out there, no matter how thoroughly researched, can often miss little details or nuance because there's just so much, and it isn't always caught. With this intention came the idea of how to read them and what I could do with that information. I ran through a number of ideas that may still come to fruition eventually, but with this channel soon running out of material, I ultimately decided on doing lore-centric videos on VTM, going through everything book by book and game by game, seeing how the lore formed from the beginning, trying to be as detailed as possible with it. Generally all the videos I see around are either distilled concepts from the game such as clan videos, deep dives into large events or places, etc., which compile information from multiple books into a single topic-focused video. Videos about specific books are often reviews of those books, focusing on the quality and or application of the book for the TTRPG. There are exceptions, but they aren't often consistent. What I'll be doing is a bit different. I'm not here to critique the book or explain the mechanics. People don't watch this channel for game tips or strategy. I do lore. So I want to go through VTM and sister game lines such as Vampire the Dark Ages, book by book, in publication order, and set out the lore as it was written at the time and discuss that. This will be a massive undertaking, and considering my work schedule will probably be something years in the making, but it seems like it could be an interesting way to digest the series. This will include not just TTRPG books, but novels, comics, and games as well. I have managed to find it all, as far as I'm aware. If it has story or lore, I'll discuss it completely in the order it came out, to see how things evolved over time and hopefully find some interesting bits you may not have seen or heard about from the usually distilled versions of things most of us get to see. Now, there are definitely some pitfalls to this. There are many legacy books that are, for lack of a better descriptor, very problematic. From cringy, tone-deaf, or insensitive to downright racist, ableist, or worse. There's a lot of material that may very well be unpleasant to go through. No version is immune to these issues, but recent years have seen attempts to minimize this kind of thing. When this kind of stuff comes up, I'll do my best to note it, or have content warnings, but my own life experiences may leave me improperly equipped to catch everything. If I miss something, know that I do not mean to be dismissive or make light of anything. I just may not know. Constructive corrections will always be welcome. That about sums it up. Every content release that may have some sort of lore to it will be covered. Everything from the core VTM and Dark Ages editions to the Mind's Eye Theater LARP books and beyond. I've spent no small amount of time and money acquiring it all, so I might as well put it to good use. I'll dedicate some time each video talking about different editions and releases of the titles if applicable, and do some real-life history about the book that might be interesting if I can find that kind of information. But mostly it will be digging deep into the lore and experiencing it on the journey that led us to the 5th edition of the game that we have currently. I hope you'll join me on this journey as we step away from Bloodhunt, though we'll certainly revisit it eventually, and into the wider lore of Vampire the Masquerade, and perhaps even take a glimpse at the world of darkness beyond. I'm not the fastest reader, so it may be a little while before I get rolling with this, but keep an eye out. Thanks for watching, and please let me know if you have any questions or ideas for what you might like to see in these videos in the comments below. See you next time.